Alright, so possibly it was the last video, the app is over, but I thought that I would add something that's really, really important to the forms at least, which is the validation. Alright, and I don't want you to actually stop at this point. Just go ahead, you can go ahead and of course add an authentication system, a login and a register, and create classes for those, create models and controllers for those, create a session class and work with it, and don't just stop by building just stuff after me, and that's all. No, I have to challenge and you have to keep making and editing stuff to this existing application, and of course just consider this application is yours and just add more onto it. All right, and in this video I'm going to add a very simple validation class, at least to the forms, because if you look down here, where if for example we go to the uh, create new post or create new item right here, we go to the title and the content, and for example if we leave both of those empty, we click on save, you can see that nothing is happening right here. It's not even adding, um let's see, it's not adding a new record. It should actually add like a record that's empty, but it's actually going back to the index just because we have this part right here in the create. If you go to the create, after storing, actually it goes back to the index right away. So if we disable this and save and go right here again and try click save like that, if we look right here and click on browse, it's not still not adding a new post right here because the data is simply empty. All right, so we want to tell the user, for example, if he forgot any one of those, that we want to display a message and tell him that you forgot uh, to enter data into those inputs right here. So how exactly are we going to do this? We're going to create a new class for it in the core. So we want to go for the source. We want to go in the core right here and just create validation dot php like that. All right, and just like the database, just like the controller, the models, we're gonna go ahead and we wanna set a namespace. All right, so in order for this class to be included, so we're gonna set a namespace for this as app slash core like that, and we're gonna go for the class. All right, we're gonna name this class validation, of course, and then we're gonna create our own function right over here. So I'm gonna name this function public, so it will be accessible everywhere, or I will make it public and I will make it static so I can call it without actually instantiating the class. I'm gonna name it something like check required. All right, and this method is going to take the array of the fields that we have. So I'm gonna go array fields like that, and it's going to also take in the data that we have or that we're sending in to the form. All right, so it's gonna take array, and it's gonna take a parameter type of array, and this will be data, and this right here should actually return an array. All right, so I want to go ahead and I want to open this up like that. So inside this function, we want to create another array, which we will use just later. So this will be the errors array, error array like that, right? And this will be an empty array for now. And we want to check, we want to make a for each on every and each field that we're sending in, right, in this array fields right here. And we want to check if it's empty or not. And based on this, we will make a decision. All right, so we're gonna go for each fields as field. Let's trigger our if method. So if we got if empty right over here, data field. If empty, actually we're gonna trim this also. All right, so if this is not empty, just set it like this to or if the field right here that we're passing in is not there in the data that we're sending in, then we're gonna set this the just just empty single quotes like that. All right, so we want to simply go ahead. If this is empty, we want to go ahead and echo this field. All right, so we want to echo UC first, this data field like that. And we want to concatenate this to is required. All right, and then we want to go ahead and we want to push. Actually, we want to push. Uh, we want to push this data field first inside inside the errors array. So we want to go ahead and we will just we will push the fields that are empty inside the errors like that, and we will actually return this errors array like that. All right, we will return it from the function. All right, so we're having an error, unexpected token, expecting variable. All right, so let's remove this from now. Um, public static check required array. Public static, yeah, of course. Forgot the function right here, so this should be array. All right, so unexpected variable errors. Yeah, we do not need this actually. This is basic uh, PHP error, all right, not an OOP error. All right, so this is how it works. So again, what we're doing right here, we're creating a very simple function, and this function will take two arrays. The first array is the fields, all right, that's coming in that we're going to pass in later. And then the second array is the data array that we are also going to send, which is the data coming from the inputs, right? So, and we define an array right here, which is simply errors. And right here, we're just going through every field that we're passing in, every field or every item in the fields array as field right here. So we're saying if empty, if the we're pushing every field that we're passing in inside the data array. So if this is if the field right here is actually empty, we're gonna set it, all right? And if not, we're gonna simply keep this single colon like that. And if it's empty, we're gonna move in to the next part, which is pushing every field that we have inside the errors array that we already set in like that. And we're gonna use the UC first right here. So actually, if we have a title, the UC first basically makes the first character a capital like that. This is what we're doing. All right, so we're gonna push every item that we have inside data that we got right here inside the errors, and we're gonna see is required like that, and then we're gonna return all the errors as you can see here. All right, so save the whole thing. Let's now go ahead add the controllers, and let's go to the post controller. Let's see, for example, we have this store method, so we're gonna go errors like that. We're gonna go and let's use this validation class. All right, so it should be app slash core first and then slash validation. So we're gonna go for the validation right like that, and we're gonna just trigger the function which is check required. All right, and the check required right here accepts two arrays. The first array, which are our title and our, let's actually keep it a single colon just for safety. And the second input is simply the content. Right, this is the first array, which is the fields array. And then we're going to pass in the data that's actually coming in from the post. All right, this post right here, this one. All right, so, and this actually should be passed in right here in the store. We're already calling the store method in here. All right, so we want to also do an if statement. So if errors, um, if we do not have the errors, sorry, we should echo out dev class alert dash danger. All right, and then we should concatenate this. So we will go errors errors, and we should echo out the field like that. All right, and then should end this. All right, otherwise let's go ahead and actually if we should echo this and simply do an exit or something so we can stop everything. All right, so let's also go right here and do an else so everything's fine. um, let's go ahead and simply add this part. All right, so let's save the whole thing. Now let's try this out. So we have right here the create. Let's refresh this. Let's actually go ahead right here and click save. All right, so it looks like that we're having a problem. So let me just stop this for a second. All right, so the error wasn't that big. So we should go right here first at the validation and actually not include this part. Right, we just need the field right away. Just need the name of the field. All right, so save this and let's go back to the post controller. And this part, it should be, we should check if the empty, if the errors array is empty or not. So we're gonna go empty like that. So we're gonna say if it's not empty, we wanna go ahead and loop through right here, loop through the errors array, and we should now display every field that we have. So shouldn't be just one field because we will have we will possibly like have a form of too many fields. All right, so we want to go for each errors as error. All right, we want to go ahead and cut this part and paste it right here, and we want to go ahead and just display the error like that. All right, the error that's coming in, which is simply the name of the field. All right, and we want to simply um, return like that. Um, all right, so that's basically it. So let's now go ahead and go back and create new post. So if we click save right now, as you can see, title is required and content is required. We just need to go ahead and change this part is like that. So if we go ahead and continue now, as you can see, title is required. You can style this however that you like. We can go back to the post, for example, and we can add the class, the bootstrap class, which is the container. So we can go dev class. We can go right here, container, like that. We can end this div, and we can go like at this part, and we can also end this div like that. Now if we go ahead and try to save this once more, as you can see, it's still made title is required and content is required. So we can add as many inputs right here as we want. If we leave them empty, uh, a cart or an alert like this will show up, as you can see. So if we actually fill in the title, if we click save, now the content is right here. So it's telling me content is required right now. All right, so great. So let's try and go for fourth or even fifth post. Let's copy this part and paste. I click save right now. Right. So it's actually it inserted the post, but it's just going to the same page with the same create page, but it's inserting perfectly. So I can go right at the bottom of this part, for example, and after we insert, we can just go header like that, and we can go location index.php. All right, we can end this with a semicolon. All right, now, so if we try seventh post, paste right here, click save. All right, so seventh post, as you can see, and also you can see it right here. And again, we can just see if it's still validating or not. It's perfectly working. And of course, you can add this um, to the edit, right? I did not add it yet, but I will just leave this up to you. Again, it's not that big of a deal. You will go to the update actually, and you will comment this part. Um, all right, comment this header line, and then go ahead and add this logic, this whole logic at the update function right here, and it should work perfectly. So yeah, this is it for this video. And again, don't just stop right here. Add an authentication system to this or something, and it should be like a full-on app. So yeah, this will be it, and I will see you in the next video.